The Little Wise Hen and the Cunning Fox. When the little wise hen decided to eat all the bread by herself, she thought her friends in the farmyard might learn something about helping and sharing, but they did not. Nothing changed on the farm, but nothing changed at first. One morning, when the farmer came round to feed the animals, he called Clara Cat, David Duck, Pinky Pig, and the little wise hen together. Now listen, he thought them. We must warn you about something. There is a cunning old fox about who is looking for food. If he comes into the farmyard tonight, he will try and steal you, and eat you. So, you all have to be very careful. When the farmer had gone, the little wise hen said, he must remember what the farmer has told us. After all, who wants to be eaten by a fox? Not I, said Clara Cat. Not I, said David Duck. Not I, said Pinky Pig. Then we must guard the farm tonight, said the little wise hen. Who have helped me to keep watch? Not I, said Clara Cat. Not I, said David Duck. Not I, said Pinky Pig. And I shall have to do it by myself, said the little wise hen. That night, Clara Cat curled up in a pile of straw in the barn. The duck snuggled down in his duck hole, and Pinky Pig laid down in his pigsty. And very soon, all the animals were fast asleep. The little wise hen sat up all night guarding the farmyard. She would not let her eyes close even for 1 minute. But she was more and more tired. And finally, the poor little wise hen could stay awake no longer. Just before dawn, her eyes closed, and she fell fast asleep. Of course, this was just what the cunning old fox had been waiting for. He came out from his hiding place and crept quietly into the farmyard. The fox tiptoed towards the barn where Clara Cat was still curled up in the stream. Before she knew what was happening, the fox had pounced. Meow, meow. Help, help. Clara Cat cried as the thoughts put her into his sack, but no one heard her. Next, the cunning old fox found the duck's home and he stuck his paw inside. Before the duck knew what was happening, effects had grabbed David Duck. Quack, quack. Help, help, cried David Duck as the fox put him into his sack, but no one heard him. Then the cunning old fox came to the little wise hen, who was still fast asleep. He crept up behind her and before she knew what was happening, the facts had pounced. Buck, buck, buck. Help, help, cried the little wise hen as the fox put her into the sack, but no one heard her. Finally, the cunning old fox found Pinky Pig snoring in his sty. You would make me a very fine meal, the cunning old fox said. But you are much too big and heavy for me to carry in myself, and anyway, I have got a cat, a duck, and a little wise hen to eat. I'll come back for you when I get hungry again. And the cunning old fox quietly carried his sack out of the farmyard and began his journey back to his house. The next morning, Pinky Pig woke up, yawned, and went looking for his friends. Clara Cat, he called. But there was no reply. Pinky Pig, he called. But there was no reply. Little Wise Hen, he called. But there was still no reply. Where can they be, he said to himself. Then, he remembered the farmer's warning. Oh no, he cried. The fox must have got them. I must go and help my friends, and he set off down the path as fast as his legs would carry him. Luckily, the fox had not got far with his sack. He was very tired because he'd been awake all night and his sack was very heavy. So, he decided to stop for a rest. The moment he sat down, he fell fast asleep. As soon as the fox was asleep, David Duck, Clara Cat and the little wise hen inside the sack began arguing. "It is all your fault, little wise hen," said Clara Cat angrily. "Yes," said David Duck. "You should not have fallen asleep." "Well, if you had helped me to guard the farm, I would not have got so tired," said the little wise hen. "Now what are we going to do? We have to think of a way to get out of this sack." "I can use my sharp beak," said David Duck, and he lured a hole in the sack, and jumped out. "I can use my sharp claws," said Clara Cat, and she clawed a bigger hole in the sack, and jumped out. "What about me?" called the little wise hen. "We will help," said Clara Cat and David Duck. Together, they clawed and lured a big hole in the sack, so the little wise hen could jump out too. All very quietly, all three friends gathered some rocks, and put them into the fox's sack, and then crept away from the sleeping fox. On their way back to the farm, they met Pinky Pig would come looking for them. "Oh, thank goodness you're safe," said Pinky Pig. "Let's go and get the farmer so that he can catch the fox." "I have a much better idea," said the little wise hen. "We can teach that cunning old fox a lesson." She told Clara Cat, David Duck, and Pinky Pig her plan. Some time later, the fox woke up. "I must have fallen fast asleep," he said, yawning and stretching. "Now to get home. Then I will eat the duck for my breakfast, and save the cat for tea, and the little wise hen for supper." The fox reached over and picked up the sack full of rocks. "Goodness! This is heavy," he said, as he staggered off down the road. When he got the river, he sat on the riverbank and put the sack down. "Phew," he said. "I need another rest." The fox did not know, but Clara Cat, David Duck, Pinky Pig, and the little wise hen were watching him from behind a bush. As soon as the fox's back was turned, the pit took all the rocks from the fox's sack, and climbed in. Soon, the fox stood up. "I had better be getting on," he said, reaching for the sack. "I'm very tired, but I will not stop again until I get home." "Quite right," said Pinky Pig from inside the sack. "Who said that?" said the fox. "I did," replied Pinky Pig, and kicked the fox as hard as he could. "Ah, ah!" screamed the fox, as he dropped the sack on the river bank, and tumbled head over tail, splosh right into the river. "Help! Help!" he cried. Clara Cat, David Duck, and the little wise hen ran out from behind the bush, and the Pinky Pig out of the sack. "I do not think that the fox will bother us over again," said Pinky Pig, and they all laughed. "Let's go home and have some breakfast," said the little wise hen. "Who will help me to make it?" "I will," said Clara Cat. "I will," said David Duck. "I will," said Pinky Pig. So, the four friends went back to the farm, where they all had to make a lovely breakfast, and they all helped to eat it.